EdYoda, the end of your job search and the beginning of your dream career. EdYoda's live sessions are taught by industry experts, giving you hands-on experience and practical knowledge with real projects, not just degrees. EdYoda's industry-recognized certifications will help you stand out in the job market. And that's not all. With EdYoda's exclusive job board featuring 500+ companies, finding your dream job has never been easier. Say goodbye to endless job searching and hello to your dream career with EdYoda. Join EdYoda's student community today and start building your dream career.
Hi everyone, welcome to the workshop. You all are able to hear me clearly, and welcome to EdYoda's YouTube channel. A quick check, is my audio clear? So as you all know by the title itself, today we'll be learning about Selenium. So how many of you are first time programmers here? Let me know in the chat box. I would like to know whether you have some knowledge about programming, or is this the first time you're learning programming. And this will be a 2-hour session where we try to cover everything that you need to know about this, and how to actually start your career in this software test engineering. So I hope you all are excited, and do quickly click on that like button if you haven't yet, and subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon. And do let us know, like, what are you doing currently? Are you a student? Are you working somewhere? Are you coming here to just learn? Or what are you doing currently? We would like to know in the chat box. And all of our viewers, a quick like if you haven't yet, and do share this video with your friends too, with whom you think they would need to learn this, or you would like to learn this topic with them. Share it with them on WhatsApp, Telegram, wherever you would like to share it. Will begin shortly. All right, I hope you all are able to hear me clearly. So let's have a quick, like I was asking you, let me ask you all, this is a simple question that from where are you all watching this video, like this workshop? So I will start first. I'm doing this workshop, this live session from Bangalore. So we have Natya here with us. She'll also tell us from where are you doing this live session?
Yeah, I'm doing this live session from Karur.
Great. So via internet, we are able to get connected with each other, even though we are so far away. I know you all are also watching from different parts of the country, but via this medium, we are all able to connect and learn something new. And we will begin shortly at 6 p.m. So now is the last chance. If you want to call your friends over, tell them that this workshop is beginning. Now is the right time to do it. And before we actually start the session, let me tell you a little bit about Natya, who is going to teach you today Selenium. So she has almost 5 years experience in software testing and 4+ years of experience in automation testing. So she has the knowledge, she has been in the industry, and she'll give you all the insights, and she'll let you know what are the important things that you need to know about Selenium, as well as if you are looking to start your career in the software testing, what are the things that you should know about. So I won't waste too much of your time. I'll hand it over to Natya so that she can take over the session.
Yeah, thank you, Rishabh. Yeah, so hello everyone. I hope most of you are very beginners. So today I will just explain about what is software testing, some basics, and then we will go into the Selenium. Okay, and Rishabh already introduced myself, so let's move on to the topic. And actually we are having Q&A session at the end. So if you have any queries, please make note. We will discuss at the end. So I hope the session will be very useful for you people. So let's start. So let me share my screen. Yeah, so please confirm if you can able to see my screen. Give thumbs up or so that I can start.
Yes, we are able to see.
Yeah, thank you. So you guys already aware of the topic, right? Today's topic. So learn Selenium and start your career in software testing. So Selenium, you guys, I think most of you people have heard about Selenium, right? It is very popular now. So this is one of the automation testing tool. So today we will see why we have so many testing tools, but why Selenium is very popular. And then we will discuss about the important topics in Selenium. Okay, so before
Natya, sorry to interrupt. Can we have the screen on full screen? PPT.
okay, yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay. So first, I will explain you about what is a software development lifecycle and where the testing phase comes and what is the importance, and then we'll move on to Selenium. So this is today's agenda. So first, we are going to discuss about software development lifecycle. What are the different stages available, and then what is software testing, and then Selenium, and a few important topics in Selenium, and finally, I will just give one demo as well. We'll move on to the next one. So SDLC. I hope you guys might have heard about this term, right? Software development lifecycle. So this is nothing but the different stages present in the software cycle. For example, we are getting one requirement from a client. Like let's consider the requirement is like they want to develop one e-commerce website, just like Amazon or Flipkart. Okay, so this is the requirement. So once we get the requirement, what could be the first stage? So first we need to understand, right, the requirement, what is the expected outcome. So everything we need to get clear before start, right? So that should be the first stage. So we have to analyze the requirement to get the clear understanding. So that is the first stage. And second, now we are clear with the requirement, then we have to start designing, right? So what are the different features? So how many pages should be there? So all the designing needs to be done. That is the second stage. And now we are done with the design. What could be the third stage? We have to implement it, right? Writing a code, the development. So the development will take place. And then once, let's consider the development is done. Okay, then we are good to deliver the product to customer. But before that, we need to do a testing, right? Because we are not sure whether this development has we met all the requirements. So definitely we need to do a testing. Without testing,
Natya, a moment.
yeah.
Your screen is still not coming full screen. Can we have in the presentation mode? It's in reading mode. If you can just click F5.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's proper. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Rishabh. Yeah. So next stage is a testing. So where we have to do all different kind of testing. So at the end, we have to ensure we meet all the requirements. Okay, and then finally, if we are good with the testing, we are good to go. We can deliver the product. That is called deployment. So this is the different stages present in this software development lifecycle. Okay, now today we are going to focus only on this testing. So what is testing? And mainly we are going to discuss about automation testing using Selenium. Let me go to the next slide. Yeah, so software testing. So you guys know, right, what is testing? We have to test the product or software and we have to ensure that it meets the criteria, the requirement before delivering it to the production. Right, so that is called testing. So we can do the testing either manually or we can use any one of the testing tool or scripting. That if we are using a tool or script, then that comes under automation testing. So we have so many tools present in the market for automation testing. Here you can see Selenium, UFT, Tosca, Cypress. So we have so many tools. But today we are going to discuss only about Selenium. Let's I hope till now you guys are clear on the basics. So let's move to the next one. Yeah, now we are in the main topic like Selenium. So what is Selenium? sorry. Yeah. So you guys heard about Selenium, right? Definitely, even if you are not clear about what the whole process, but you might have heard about the term Selenium. Okay, the Selenium, this is nothing but open source automation tool, and it is mainly for web page or web application, web automation tool. And here it actually this tool supports multiple browsers and platforms. You can automate Chrome browser or Edge browser. It supports all different browsers. Okay, and also it supports multiple programming languages, because Selenium, this is a tool, or we can call that as a framework. So within the tool, we have to write a code using any one of the programming language. So the programming languages it supports a PHP, Python, Java, C Sharp. So it supports multiple language. You can use any one of the language. Next, yeah, we can easily integrate Selenium with other frameworks. So this is a tool, right? So we can, few features will not be available. So if you need any additional features or anything, you can easily integrate with other frameworks. That is also one of the advantage. And then, yeah, it is directly communicating with the browser. So we are going to identifying the web elements, and the performance wise, it will be very fast because of the direct communication. So I will show you how to find the web elements, how it works, everything I will explain in the next upcoming slides. So till now, I hope you guys are clear. So let's discuss about what are the drawbacks, because whatever tool or product we take, if there is a pro, definitely the both drawbacks and advantage will be available, right? So the drawbacks are like, first I told you, it supports only the web application. For example, if you want to automate any desktop application or mobile application, then you cannot use Selenium. So that is one advantage here. And second one, it actually within Selenium, we don't have any reporting feature, inbuilt feature we are not having. So if you need, because for example, you are writing a script to automate one web page, but at the end we need to know, right, whether it failed at any places or whether it passed. If it got failed at which place it failed, we need to know all the data at the end, right? So definitely reporting is must. But in Selenium, we don't have that feature. But we can use any other plugins. We can integrate with Selenium. That is possible, but no inbuilt feature. And then another disadvantage here we have is object. We don't have an object repository. I think this term might be new for you people. So this is nothing but in the web page, we are identifying the web elements, right? So we need to store that elements so that we can use those elements while writing a script. But here we don't have any such feature. We can directly write a script to access the elements. But whereas if you take U of T, that is another automation testing tool. In the tool, we have one object repository. So where we can store all the web elements and we can access them when needed using the name. But in Selenium, we don't have that feature. And then, yeah, so these are the drawbacks of Selenium. Okay, so yeah. Now, why you people are here? You want to learn about Selenium, right? And you might have interest in testing. You want to start your career, or you want to, if you are in any other domain, you want to move to start your career in automation testing. So first, you need to know what are all the things you need to learn. Okay, so not only Selenium. If you want to become automation test engineer, we need to learn few more things as well. So here I will explain you what are all the different things you need to learn. Okay, so the first one I told you, Selenium is a tool, and within this tool we have to write a script using a programming language, right? So that is the first criteria. You need to know any one of the programming language. For like Java or Python or C Sharp, based on the requirement, you can learn any one of the programming language. Second one, you need to know Selenium. And third, unit testing or framework. So I told you we have multiple frameworks available. We can integrate with Selenium to avail some other features. Okay, so you have to know any one of the frameworks. That is added advantage. Like we have TestNG, we have Cucumber. So we have few Selenium frameworks. It is good to learn any one of the framework. And then data provider, we need to know how to pass data from either Excel or CSV from some other source. We are writing a script, okay? So I need to pass data from some other like Excel, CSV, some notepad or some other file, okay? That is also possible. We have to learn that also, how to pass the data. And then Maven. So Maven this is nothing but one of the project management tool. So this tool is having multiple advantages. So if you're, this is not much complex. This is very simple. So if you have good knowledge on Maven, like how to create a Maven project, what are the advantages, what are the different features, that could be enough. And then finally, Git. So Git is nothing but it's a version controller. I think you guys might have heard about it. So using Git, we can maintain our code. So Git also, if you are having a basic knowledge, that is more than enough. Like how to push the code, how to pull. So the basic knowledge is enough. So yeah, you guys have to learn all these things to become a test engineer. Okay, these all are actually a basic ones only. Okay, now let's move on to the Selenium. So now you already decided like you want to start your career in Selenium. Okay, the theoretical, you can, there are multiple websites, courses or videos available. You can learn. But the theoretical knowledge won't enough. Definitely, you need to have a the real-time practice. So first, if you want to learn, first get the setup ready. Okay, to install Selenium, what are the prerequisites? So we need Eclipse. Okay, and then we need a Selenium, and then we are going to automate. We need browsers only, right? So we need the drivers. Like if you are using Chrome browser, you need Chrome driver. Likewise, based on the browser, we need the separate drivers. And then the programming language, Java or Python. Okay, these all are the prerequisites to have the Selenium setup. Okay, so you can easily, I'm not going to explain you how to download these things because this will take time. It is not much important. You can directly get it from the website. But these are the, you can directly go and search like download Eclipse or download Selenium, you will get it. Okay, so yeah, these are the topics we are going to cover today. Okay, so in Selenium, actually, it is a huge topic. We cannot cover all the topics within this 2 hour of session, but I will try to cover the most important topics. Okay, so first few slides will be the very basics, like the what are all the different components of Selenium, the architecture, how it looks like, and then we'll move on to the other topics like locators, actions. So these are the different classes present in Selenium. We'll discuss one by one. Okay. So first one is a Selenium components. So I told you Selenium is a framework or a tool, right? So within this tool, we have multiple components. It is not a single one. So within Selenium, we have a Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, and then Selenium Grid. Okay, let me just. Yeah. So, but we are going to use only a Selenium WebDriver, but I will just give brief intro about all other Selenium IDE. What is that? I will explain. Okay, so Selenium IDE, this is nothing but we can say as a very older version. So in Selenium IDE, we cannot write a script. It is like a record and playback. So you can directly, for example, if you want to automate any web page, you have to have the Selenium IDE plugin, and it supports only the Firefox browser. Okay, so in Firefox browser, you need to have the Selenium IDE plugin. And then if you want to automate, you can just go and click on record and you can go and do the actions. So it will create the script. It will record the actions and then it will create the automated script. Okay, we don't have to go and create any script. It does not support any programming language also. So that is a drawback in Selenium IDE because it does not support any of the programming language and it supports only the Firefox browser. And it creates a script by its own. But the problem is the script that might not be unique because it may use any one of the feature or any one of the attribute, but that may change the next time. So that script not perfect. So that's why Selenium IDE, nowadays no one is using Selenium IDE. Okay, and the next one we have Selenium RC. So this is having some advantages over than Selenium IDE. Like it supports all the browsers and it supports all the programming language. It is somewhat similar to Selenium WebDriver. But the one drawback is if you want to use a Selenium RC, we need to download one Selenium server. So that server setup that will be a bit complex. So that is the only drawback in Selenium RC. To overcome that, we have Selenium WebDriver. So this is here again, it supports all the programming languages, all the browsers. And here we don't have to download any server. We can simply we need one jar file. You can directly download the jar file in your machine and you can add in your project. That's it. No need of any server, anything. So that is the advantage. And we have one more Selenium Grid. This is mainly used for the parallel execution. For example, you want to execute the same script in multiple browsers or in multiple machines. You heard about hub node concept, right? The parent machine, and you want to run the same in multiple other machines. So in that scenario, you can use Selenium Grid. Okay, so but we are using only the Selenium WebDriver because the IDE RC, I told you what are the disadvantages. So we are not using those. Selenium WebDriver only we are using. Okay, I hope this is clear. Next, yeah, I will explain you about the hierarchy. So what is the hierarchy of Selenium WebDriver? Okay. So yeah, Selenium WebDriver, this is actually, I told you this is a framework, right? So if you guys, do you guys have any programming knowledge? I hope maybe a few people might have a knowledge. Few people are very new to this. So anything is fine. But if you have any programming language, programming knowledge, then it will be easy to understand. Because in Java, you might have heard about the concepts, class, interfaces. So that's what we are going to see here. Okay, so the Selenium WebDriver, this is nothing but an interface. So in Java, interface is nothing but it's similar to class, but within an interface, we will have the methods without any body. Right? Just we can declare a method, we cannot define. So this is the interface. Okay, and I told you we need different drivers for different browsers because it supports multiple browsers, but the features of the browsers will be different, right? So we have different classes for different browsers. Okay, they have created one class for Chrome driver and one class for Firefox driver. So we have different classes. So from the WebDriver interface, it linked to all other different classes. Okay, so this is the hierarchy. So the parent search context, this is the parent interface. Within that, we are having WebDriver interface and it is having the remote web drivers like Chromium, Chrome driver, Firefox, Edge, and Safari. So at this stage, it may be confusing, but I will explain you while writing the script. That will be very helpful. At the time, it will be clear for you. Okay. Yeah, I think it is enough to understand this this one, just the flow, just what is WebDriver and within WebDriver, what are the different classes we have, that is enough. Okay, next. Yeah. Okay, now you have the setup ready. Now you know what is Selenium WebDriver, everything. Now you have to know how to write a script, right? Before that, we need to, let me show you. Let me first take any one of the sample web page. Okay. So for let's consider, I want to automate this web page. Okay. So here in this page, I want to give username, password, and once I go inside, I will see multiple things. So I want to automate this page. And here in this page, if you see, we have so many objects, right? The Selenium, these are we can call as objects or web elements. Okay, the elements present in the web page, they are called web elements. We can call all these username, password, these images, we can call all as web elements. Okay, so each elements should have unique properties, right? Then only we can identify those elements. So if you click F12 or if you go and click inspect, you can see the HTML code, the development code here, right? And if you inspect, for example, I want to know this email address, what are the different properties, how this is developed, I want to know, okay? So here you can see this icon, this is nothing but inspect. Just click this arrow and then place this where you want to. So here I want to see this email address. Yeah, see here. Yeah. So here if I click this one input class, here you can see this highlighting this email address, which means this is the property of this web element. Okay. And here you can see input class, so many things, right? I will try to explain this one. Like each element will have one tag name. Okay, we will call that the first one, right? That as a tag, tag name. So if it is a text box, which means we are going to provide some input, right? So the text box always will have the tag name as input. So each element will have one tag name based on for the reference. For example, if it is a button, then that will have the tag name as button. Okay, and if it is a header, then that will have the tag name as h3. Maybe if you are having any HTML knowledge, then it will be easy for you to understand. Even if you don't have, that is absolutely fine. It is very simple. Okay. Let me inspect again. I just missed that one. Yeah, here we have. Okay, so that is first try to understand the names of each and every fields. Okay, the first one, this is called a tag name. And then second, we have class. You can see a few things in this brown color and few things in yellow, right? So this is, we call this as an attribute. Name of the attribute, and equal to, we have the value. Okay, here it is having class, it is having type, it is having data validate and ID, name. So these all are called attributes of this particular web element. So the developer has used so many attributes to identify this element uniquely, because within a page we have so many elements. So each element needs to be identified uniquely, right? So that's why they have used multiple attributes. So we have to take the attribute which is unique. So that because we are going to automate this one, our script will come to this page that has to identify where is username, where is password. It has to provide the input, right? Which means we have to provide the unique property. Then only script will be our script will easily identify. So that's why we have to first understand what is this attribute. Okay, from this one, it is having ID type, right? Even let me inspect this password. Here also you can see that is having the same tag name input, because that is also text box. Then it is also having class ID name. So let me inspect the sign in. Yeah, here see, it is having the tag name as button, because the sign in is a button, right? Once you click sign in, it will go to the next page. So that's why it is having the tag name as button, and it also has few attributes, ID, name, class. Okay, so we are going to identify the elements using these attributes. That's it. Okay, let's move on to the slide. And before that, one more thing here. If you want to confirm whether this particular value is unique, then just press Ctrl F. Okay, so here at the bottom, you will get one text box. For example, I'm planning to take ID attribute for this button, but I'm not sure whether this is a unique or not. Maybe some other element may also have the same value, right? So before taking the value, we should confirm. So just copy the value, and within this text box, just paste it. Okay, and here just press enter. You will see how many elements are having this particular value. Okay, here you can see 1 of 1, which means only one web element in this page is having this particular value, which means we can call that as a unique, right? So you can go and take this ID or this name. Okay, this is you need to confirm whether that particular attribute is unique or not before taking. I hope this is clear. Okay, so let's go to the slide now. Yeah. So we call actually in Selenium, we are using attributes to identify the elements, right? So we call that as a locators. Okay. So the first locator is ID. Okay, here we saw that one, right? Here I showed you, right? This particular element is having ID attribute. So using ID, we can identify the element. That is first locator present in Selenium. Okay, and the next one is class name. So here you can see class, right? So using class name also, we can identify the web element. And third one is name. So here you can see name, right? So this is another locator in Java. We can use ID, we can use class name, we can use name, and then tag name. You can even use the tag name to identify the element. But the problem is tag name will not be unique because in the same page, we can have multiple buttons, right? So all the buttons will have the tag name as button. So that's not the correct way to use. So mostly we won't use tag name. The reason, because it will not be unique. Okay. And then we have a XPath. This is another locator. So at this stage, XPath, I will explain you in the next slide because this is not the direct attribute. So we have to create our own, we have to write a XPath. Okay, I will show you, explain you later. Then CSS selector, this is also another locator. It is also similar to XPath. It is not the direct attribute. And then we have link text. So link text, this locator, we can use only for hyperlinks. For example, here security project you have, right? If you click this one, it will move to the next page. That one we call as a hyperlink, right? From one page, this link is actually pointing to the another page. So if there is any hyperlinks present, for that we can use this link text locator because the name itself, it is link text. We can use only for link, okay, to identify the link. For example, let me just inspect this one. And here you can see the tag name. What is the tag name here? Can you guys type in the chat? Okay, I think you have written A, right? Because I told you the first one that is called a tag name. So here the tag name is A. So all the hyperlinks will have the tag name as A. Okay, and it is having href, style, so many attributes. And here you can see security project. This is a text. The text which we see in the web page, the visible text. Okay, that will be available in between the open tag and then closing tag. You can see the tag name the tag open here, and here we are closing, right, using that slash. So in between we are having this text. This is called a visible text, what we can see in the web page. So you can use this text to identify the links, the hyperlinks. So that is called that is the locator link text. Okay, so I will just write a code and explain you, but at this stage, try to understand what are the different locators and how to use it. That is enough for now. I will explain you clearly in the code. Okay, so in Selenium, we have 7 locators: ID, class name, tag name, XPath, CSS selector, and then link text. I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah. So now I will explain you about this XPath. Okay, I told you all these values we can directly take from the web page. We have those attributes: ID, name, class name. Okay, but this XPath, this is not an attribute. So this is nothing but we can, for example, in the same page, 2 to 3 web elements are having the same ID or the same name. If they are same, then we cannot take that attribute, right? Because we need the value which is unique. Okay, in that stage, we can use XPath. For example, you want to combine or you want to use multiple attributes together. Okay, single attribute is not unique. So you want to use multiple attributes together. In that stage, we can go with the XPath. So this is not, this is actually the combination. We can use tag name along with attribute, or else we can use multiple attributes along with the tag name. Okay, I will just show you one sample here. Let me just expand and then. Also, when you are writing an XPath, right, just as I told you earlier, press Ctrl F, you will get the text box at the bottom. Here you write XPath because that will be easy to identify whether it is a correct one or not. It is highlighting the expected element. You can confirm that. Okay, so the first one is I told you we are going to combine tag name and then attributes. That is XPath, right? So let me just inspect this one. Okay, and then here you can see it is having, sorry, it is having input ID, multiple attributes, right? The syntax to write XPath, that is, it should always starts with double slash. Okay, so we have to give double slash and then we have to give the tag name. So what is the tag name here? It is input, right? So provide the tag name. Okay, and then we have to use the square bracket. Okay, open and close square bracket. Within this, we have to mention the attribute, which attribute you are going to use. Okay, so for that, we have to use the @ symbol. It actually refers, if you are using @ symbol, then it refers that as an attribute. Okay, I'm going to use ID here. ID is the attribute, right? So, what is the name of the attribute? That is ID equal to provide the value. Here the value is email, right? So just email. And then that's it. Here see, it is highlighting the text box and here you can see 1 of 1, which means it is correctly identifying this email web element. So this is called XPath. So actually, this other locators, right, ID, name, class name, they are very simple. You can directly take from the web page, but XPath is a bit difficult. You may feel this is a bit difficult, but if you understand the syntax, then it will be very easy. And in the script, in most of the places, we will be using XPath only because that will be very unique. Okay, so that's why mostly we will use XPath. So this is the syntax. It is a simple one. I just used tag name along with just one attribute. Here you can use any attribute. I used ID, right? Even you can use name. And the name value of the name is also email. So again, it is highlighting the correct one. You can also use class. You can also use data validate. You can use any one of the attribute present here. Okay, that is the syntax, first one. Next, I want to use tag name with multiple attributes. Here I just used name, right? I want to use ID as well. Okay. Then you can use and or the conditions we can add. For example, this particular element, if the element is having name as email and ID as email, then go and select. Okay. So you can give add. And again, this is the attribute, right? So add, what is the attribute? ID equal to provide the value. Email, right? Yeah, that's it. So likewise, you can add the conditions and or. For example, if you think either an ID or either name, anyone present, then you can use or here. But if you think both should present, then you can use and. So this is the second way, like using the conditions. And third one, you can even check like contains. Okay, let me inspect the sign in button here. If you see, this is the sign in button and it is having So here it is having ID name, right? I want to check the partial value. For example, I want to check if the web element is having ID that contains login. I don't want to provide the whole value, submit login. Partial check I want to do. Then you can, that also possible. We call that as a regular expressions. You can check contains, you can check whether ID or any one of the attributes starts with this value or ends with this value. So we can check all the conditions here. I will just show you one example for contains. Again, let's write the XPath. The syntax will remain same. Always, I told you now, it should starts with double slash. Then we have to provide the tag name. Here, what is the tag name? It is button. Okay. So, and then open and close square bracket. And within this, we have to mention the attributes. Usually, how we write the XPath, we have to give the symbol at and then ID equal to submit login. Yeah. So this is a normal way of writing XPath, right? But here I want to use a regular expression. I want to check if ID contains login, only the partial check. Okay. So this contains, it is a method. So if you see, if we are using a method, then we have to pass the parameters, right? I want to check if ID contains this value. So we have to pass these two parameters within the method contains. Okay, so within a square bracket, just use the method contains. You know, if it is a method, that should always have open and close parentheses, right? So open parenthesis, and then we are passing two attributes here, two values to this particular method. So first one is what is the attribute? Just that is ID, comma the value, and then at the end, just close this one. That's it. Here I want to remove the subject. See, still it is highlighting the sign in button. But you can see here we have given only the login as ID. But the whole ID value is submit login. We have given the partial value. Still it is identifying because we have written XPath using this regular expression contains. Okay. So I hope this is clear, guys. Actually, we have multiple ways of writing XPath. But today I cannot explain you all different ways. But this is a very basic ways. If you are clear, then just go and check on other ways as well. But this is very important. When you are writing a script, I told you in most of the places we will be using only XPath. So you should be very clear on this one. How to use different ways, how to write XPath in different ways. Okay, these are the basic one. Within XPath, we have a parent-child navigation we can do. We have the siblings, parent, child, proceeding, following. So we have so many things. Okay, just go and check those things in Google. You can easily identify, or else at the end, if you have a question on that, let me know. We'll discuss. Yeah. I hope till now this is clear, but if I explain you in via code, then that will be very clear, right? So let's go to the practical example. Here I have written the simple code here. Okay, this is if you want to automate any web page, this is the basic the requirement. Okay, so first one, before going to the code, you guys try to understand what is, because if you're using a Selenium tool, first we have to tell like which browser I'm going to use, right? We have to say whether I'm going to use a Chrome browser or Firefox, the browser which I'm going to use. That one we have to tell, right? And second, once you are given the browser name, you have to tell where is that browser, the driver is available, because I told you that is one of the prerequisites. We need to download driver for different browsers. So we have to say where is that driver is present in your machine. We have to provide that location. Then only the Selenium, it will go and identify that particular driver. Because when you are launching the script, what will happen is it will go and launch the new browser window. If it is a Chrome, it will open a new Chrome window. It is not the same one. Here I have opened already one window, right? It will not open any tab or anything here. It will just go and open a new window based on the location we are providing here. So that should be the first one. And then we have to call that Chrome driver. Okay, we inform the Selenium that I'm going to use a Chrome browser and the driver is available in this location. Is it enough? No, right? We have to call that driver. Then only it will get executed, right? So that will be the second step. So we have to call the web driver. Here you can the first step. Here see, we are just setting the property. System.set property. Here we are providing the two things. First one, what is the browser name? So webdriver.chrome.driver. I'm going to use a Chrome driver. And second one, you have to provide the location of the Chrome driver. So that is the first step. We are setting the property. Second, I told you we have to call that driver, right? That is the second step. So if you remember the hierarchy, which let me just go. Yeah. So if you remember the Selenium hierarchy, I explained you different interfaces and classes, right? You remember WebDriver? What is this? Is this a class or interface? It is an interface, right? And this Chrome driver, we have different browsers. They all are different classes. So we have to call a Chrome driver, right? In Java, if you remember how we write if you want to call any of the method present in the class, we have to create an object. Is it correct? So that step we are doing here. Class name equal to new class name. That is a syntax to create the object. That is what we are doing here. So here Chrome driver is a class, right? So here Chrome driver is a class, right? So new Chrome driver, we are calling that class and we are storing that in a parent interface. If you remember, WebDriver is a parent interface. The WebDriver, this driver is just a reference name. You can give any name here, Chrome driver or driver, whatever name you can give. I just given driver. A driver equal to new and the class name, which is Chrome driver. So this particular step, it will go and call the Chrome driver. In this stage, what will happen is it will open the new Chrome window. Next, we have to tell like which URL. Now I told we are clear with the browser and everything. Next, we need to launch the URL, right? Then only we can automate those pages. So that's it. That's the next step. So driver.getOff, we have to provide the URL. So to launch the URL, we have to use a method which is called get. Because Chrome driver is a class and this driver, we have created object for that particular class Chrome driver. So using the object, we can access all the methods within the Chrome driver class, right? So object name driver dot, the method name is get. So get of URL. So what will happen is it will just go and launch the URL. Next, I want normally the window will be in a medium size. So I want to maximize the window. So for that we have a method. So driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. So this is a method to maximize the window. Here you can see multiple methods we used. Just try to understand what we are doing here. What we are going to manage the window and what we are doing, maximizing, right? So that's the method, manage. I'm going to manage the window and the action is maximize. That's it. And then you can directly find the elements. Let me just now I will show you that in the code. Okay. Now I have Eclipse. I have installed Eclipse and I have all the setup ready. Now let me just go on create one new class. Okay, maybe I will just show you a simple way to create a project class. I will just show you the sample one. For example, if you want to do any project or anything here, first we need to create a project, right? And then we need to create a class. So first go to File and then New. You can see a project, Java project. Give any name here. So Selenium. Okay, I just gave name as Selenium Basic Training. Just click on Finish. Yeah, here you can see it has created the project. Okay, and then here you can see JRE system library. This is nothing but in Java. We have a JRE, JDK, so many things, right? All the library files will be available under this JRE. By default, it will have JRE. We don't have to do anything. So within the source only, we have to create a class, package, everything. So just do a right click new, and then class. So Java, I hope you guys know about package, right? What is package? This is nothing but it's a multiple classes. If you want to group multiple classes together, then we can create a package. Okay. So here I want to create a class, and at the top you can see one field package. So that is must. You have to provide the package name. I am just going to give sample. And then within this, you can give the name of the class. So I'm just going to automate a login page, simple login page. Okay. So I'm just giving login page as a name. And then we definitely need a main method, right? If you need, just click and then finish. That's it. Here, see, it has created the class. Now, this is a simple Java class. We need to use Selenium concepts here, right? Which means I told you we need to download a Selenium jar file. Okay. So if you have a jar file ready, then you have to import that file here. So just go here. Go to build path and then configure build path. And then go to libraries. Here go to build path and then add external archives. Select this option. And then if you have downloaded that Selenium driver, then just go and select. Yeah, here I have Selenium server and then just click open. That's it. Here if you can see under reference libraries, you can see the Selenium jar file. You can see 4.1.4 jar. This is a jar file. That's it. Now you can use all the Selenium features. So what is the first step? If you remember in the PPT, I told you, right? First, we have to tell which browser you are going to use and then the browser driver path. So that is the properties we have to set. So just type system dot set. You can see if you enter dot and you can see the multiple options. Here you can see set properties, select the relevant one. We are going to use property, right? So set property and then mention the driver name. So WebDriver, this is default, dot the name of the driver. I am going to use Chrome dot driver. That's it. So the parameters, these two are actually string. You can see string key, string value, right? So you have to provide the values within double quotes. And then here you have to provide the path. So let me just take the path. So in my machine, Chrome driver is available under downloads. Okay, so I'm just copying the path and I'm just providing here. Yeah. So this is the path and you have to, this Chrome driver is a exe file. So name of the file also we have to give, right? So Chrome driver.exe, that's it. Okay, let me save this one. And then if I run this program right now, nothing will happen because we haven't called that Chrome driver, right? We just given the set the property. So nothing will happen. if I want to invoke the Chrome driver, then we have to call the Chrome driver. So for that, I told you first we have to use the parent, which is WebDriver, and then you have to use name equal to new. What is the name of the class? We are going to use a Chrome driver, right? So the name of the class is same, Chrome driver. So Chrome, and you remember Java is case sensitive, so you have to use the name as it is. And still you can see it is throwing error, right? And if you just hover your mouse, you can see the option. Here it is asking us to import that particular file. Actually, Selenium we already added here, but in the class we have to import, right? So just click this one. You can see it added that import line here. We have to do the same for Chrome driver as well. That's it. Now there it is gone. We have imported the required files. Okay. So next, let me just run the program now. Just right click and then run as Java application. Yeah, here can you see it just opened the new Chrome window. And here there is no URL, nothing is available, just the window, and that is also in a medium size. Right. Let me just close it. That is this particular line. This is actually invoking the Chrome driver. Next, I need to maximize my window. Okay. So for that, you remember the method names. What is it? Driver. Here driver is an object. Then we have to give the name of the methods. I want to manage my window, right? So that is the first method, dot window. And what action needs to be performed? I want to maximize. So that's it. Okay, if I run now, it will open the window and it will maximize it. Okay, next, I want to launch the URL, right? What is the name of the method we have to use? The name of the method is get. So driver dot get of the URL we have to give here. Let me yeah. So string URL, I just used a parameter here. So string URL equal to HTTPS this one, and within this you can use the parameter URL. Either you can give the value directly within a parenthesis, or else you can use parameter like this and you can use. It depends. Okay, let me just save. Yeah, just give me a minute. I will just run this script. You can see what's happening. So run as Java application. Okay, what happened? Let me. Actually, it again open only the window, right? Nothing has happened. Let me check here. So the if you are getting any errors, all the error details will be available in the console. You can just go and check. Okay, here some WebSocket error. Let me just try to rerun. Okay, so actually here, this is something IO exception you can see, right? For all the, if there is any error, Selenium will throw exception. So each exception, if you just read the name of the exception, from that you can easily identify what's the issue. Here it is showing IO exception, and here you can see a WebSocket error, which means it is not related to the script, some issue with this web browser. So let me just try to run the existing script, which I have already. Yeah, let me just try to run this one just to confirm if the problem is just with that particular class or in the entire. Yeah, here it is working. You can see it just opened the window, it launched the URL. Here you can see, and it is providing the values. Yeah, let's take this one. Okay, so we have written script till this line, right? Yeah, till this get URL. Yeah, and let me just go to the page. So this page only we are talking, right? So here I want to enter the username. I want to enter the password. I just need to click the sign in button. Okay, let's inspect the elements. Just click this inspect. You remember, right? How to inspect and how to find the properties. So these are the properties or attributes of this particular text email text box. So here it is having ID name, right? If you remember the locators in Selenium, we have ID, we have name locator, we have class as well. So here, if you see the class, ID and name, this is unique. We already checked, right? And if you take class, it is having multiple values. Here you see there is a gap between these values required and then some gap and then validate, right? Which means this is having multiple values. So it's not, if the particular element is having multiple values, then better don't use that attribute. Instead of that, if you can find any other attribute which is unique, then go and take. At this stage, I can use either ID or name. Okay, so I'm just going to use ID as an attribute, the locator. So go to Eclipse. Okay, I will show you how to write the syntax. Okay, I told you we have to first use the object, right? Object is nothing but the driver. And then dot, we have to give the name of the method. So here what we are going to do, we are going to find the elements, right? Then it is actually, the method name is also find element. Okay, if you type this find, you can see the method which is called find element. So within this method, we are going to use a locator. So by, this is a syntax, we have to use by. And then in Selenium, we have 7 locators, right? You have to specify which locator we are going to use. Okay, either ID or name, you have to provide the name of the locator. At this stage, I am going to use ID. And then within this double quotes, we have to pass the value of the ID. Yeah. So what is the value? Email, right? Just copy the value directly from the browser. Go here. That's it. Now see what we are doing. We are asking our driver to find the element which is having ID value as email. Okay. So at this line, what will happen is it will just go and find this element. But we haven't mentioned any action, right? It will just go and find the element. But whether you want to click or you want to enter any input, what action needs to be performed, that we definitely we have to mention here, right? So till then, this line, right, it will identify the web element. Next, dot. You have to give the action here. So this email, this is a text box, right? If it is a button, then you have to click it. But if it is a text box, we have to type the input. We have to provide, right? So we have a method called send keys. Dot send. If you see, this is the name of the method. This method will pass the value to the text box. So just remember the method name, that is send keys. And then within this, you can directly pass the value, what value you need to pass. Here I have already created the parameter, right? String username, string password. So I'm just going to use the name of the parameter. Even you can use the value directly within double quotes. Yeah. Next, now I identified the email address. Next, I want to identify the password. So the same, again, just inspect the password. And here, this time I will take name. Okay, so copy. Let's go here. Now, can you again remember the syntax? Just now we wrote for the username, right? The same we are going to do here. So driver dot, what is the method name? Find element. And then by dot, we have to mention the locator. The locator is nothing but name, right? And then within a double quotes, you have to provide the value. What is the value here? We just copied, right? This is password. So just provide the value and then dot. Again, we are going to enter the input, right? So the method name is same, send keys. If you just enter, dot, then you will get the options. So send keys, and I'm having the attribute pass. That's it. And then shall we run the program, or we just have one more button, right? Let's finish this and then run the whole program. Okay, so let's inspect the sign in as well. And this button is having ID, name, class, right? Now let's try to use another locator. We used ID, we used name. This time let's write XPath. Okay, I hope you remember the syntax, double slash and then tag name, and then we have to provide at symbol and the name of the attribute. Here I'm going to use again ID. So at ID equal to, that's it. Okay, it is highlighting and here you can see 1 of 1. So this is perfect. Let's take this XPath. Now again driver dot find element by dot, what is the attribute? Sorry, what is the locator? XPath, right? And then just provide the value which we copied. That's it. Dot. And now can you guys tell me the action which needs to be performed here? Earlier, these two are text boxes. We need to enter input. So that's why we choose send keys method. But now here we need to click, right? So the method name is such, click. That's it. See, I think we are done. We are launching the URL, we are identifying the username, we are entering password, we are clicking sign in button. Let's try to save the program and execute. So the first step, it is launching the URL. Next, you can see it entered username password. I told you, right, Selenium is actually too fast. It entered the username and password, it clicked even sign in button within a fraction of a second. You can see there is no error. If there is any error, that will be present here. Here you cannot see any error, right? Which means our program completed successfully. But if you want to see what's happening, then maybe you can add a sleep. But that is not the recommended one. But in the initial stage, if you want to see whether it is entering the username or entering the password, if you want to see those actions, then use thread.sleep. In Java, we have this option just to ask, using the sleep method, we can ask driver to wait for certain amount of time. For example, if I give 3000, then 3 seconds it will wait before entering password. And whenever we are using thread.sleep, we have to add throws declaration, because if there is any exception happening, then we have to throw that exception. So we have to add that declaration here. It will just give the option. So after selecting entering thread.sleep, it will give the option. You just select, add the declaration. That's enough. And let me add the same before clicking login button as well, so that you can see that also. Now let me run. Now you will see the difference. It will enter username. It will wait for 3 seconds. Then it will enter password. Here see, it entered test demo. It entered password. Now only it is clicking a sign in button. That's it. Hey guys, actually we completed a very simple program. We just automated this login page. I hope this is this might be interesting. Okay. So, but this is a very basic one. So yeah, let's move on to the next topic. And here we used ID name XPath. Likewise, you guys go and try using the other locators, like using a class name, using tag name. Just go and try. The syntax, it all will remain same. Only the value which you are going to pass and the locator name, that will differ. Okay, just give a try. Okay, next let's go to the PPT. Yeah. Okay, now you know how to automate a simple login page. You know how to identify the web elements, how to use different locators at different places, and then this, Yeah, and before that, I just need to tell you one more thing. And here you can see, still this particular window is open, right? But after completion of the program, I want to close the window. I don't want to close it manually. Okay, then we have an option driver dot method close. This method will just go and close the window at the end. And actually we have two methods to perform the same action. Like we have driver.quit and then we have driver.close. Both the methods will go and close the window. But the difference is close means it will close only the current active window. But whereas quit, it will close all the windows opened by the browser. So opened by the web driver. For example, in this current example, here we are having only one window, right? But in some cases, within the window, we may get child window. For example, if you are clicking a Java, it may open another tab or another new window. At the time, we have two to three different windows, right? But if you use close, it will close only the current active window. But if you use a quit, then this will close all the windows. So based on the requirement or based on place, you can use any one of the method. If there is only one window available, then simply go with close. But in that web page, you may get multiple child windows as well. You want to close all the windows at the end, then it's better choice to use a quit. I hope it is clear. So if you want, maybe I can quickly show you this one. This time, it will execute and close the window at the end. Also, another one advantage is here, see, still this page is loading, right? And it's not entering a username or password. By default, it will wait till the page gets load completely. We don't have to use any wait. By default, it will wait. Yeah, see? Now, can you see that window? No, right? It is already closed. So that is the use of this method close. That's it. Actually, it closed the window, but still I'm getting error, which is because of the problem in my machine. You can see again the socket exception. It is not related to the script. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. Next one is actions class. So this is one of the class available in Selenium, and using this class, we have so many features available in this class. So first, I will tell you what is the use of actions class. So if you want to actually perform any mouse or keyboard actions, for example, you want to do a right click, or you want to perform mouse hover, or you want to enter the keyboard keys like alt or control, you want to press the keyboard keys, any of the keyboard keys, then we can use this actions class. You can see the first line. It is one of the built-in feature available in Selenium for handling keyboard and mouse. It is mainly used for handling keyboard and mouse events. Okay, and also using this, I told you we can perform all the mouse related actions and keyboard actions, right click, drag and drop, and then a mouse hover. So all the actions we can perform using this class. Okay, so and again, what is this? This is a class, and I hope you remember the syntax to create object, right? Class name, any name equal to new class name. That is the syntax here. You can see the name of the class is actions. So, and then the reference name I just given as action equal to new actions. Then we have to pass the driver, because driver is going to do all the actions, right? Finding element, clicking or whatever it is, only the driver is going to do. So we have to pass the driver as a parameter. And these are the different methods present in this actions class. So I told you we can perform a right click, right? For that, we have a method called context click. And then you can click and hold. For example, one button, you want to click and hold for a few seconds. If you simply click, the next action will happen, right? But I want to hold for a few seconds. Then you can use this click and hold method. And so one button you want to click twice. You want to perform a double click. Then we have a method called double click. And drag and drop. You want to perform drag one web element and you have to drop that in another place. Then we have a method called drag and drop. We have to pass the source and target. From where I have to drag and from where, where I have to keep that element. So that source and target we have to mention. And then move to element. Using mouse, you want to move to any one of the particular web element. Then we can use this method. And then if you want to use a keys, you can use key up and key down. Okay, I will just show you example for few methods. Yeah, so let's take in the same one. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the actions class. So I'm going to use actions class here. So what is the first step? We have to create an object, right? So actions, name action equal to new actions of, what is the parameter here? Hope you guys remember. What is the parameter? Driver, right? So pass driver. That's it. And see, here we are getting error. Can you guys fix this error? I think we did it for this WebDriver or Chrome driver. See, what is it is showing the fix. What is the fix? First one, we have to import the actions class. So just click import. Sorry, yeah, that's it. You can see the error is gone now. And let me use that object action dot. Here, see the different methods. Can you see click and hold method? Can you see context click, which is for right click? And then double click. You can see all the methods here. Drag and drop. And then key up, key down, move to element. Release. If you want to release any one of the element, the mouse action, then you can use this release. And then scroll by, and yeah, so these all are the different methods present in this action class. You guys, when you get a time, now I will just explain 2 to 3 methods because we have to cover so many topics. When you get a time, you try to explore all the different methods. Just use one method and see what's happening. Okay. So action dot. Let me. Maybe I just want to do a right click. Okay. So action dot. Select the name of the method, which is context click, right? So here you can see 2 methods available. First one is if you simply provide the context click with the method without any parameter, then it will just go and do a right click in the web page. But if you want to do a right click on any one of the particular web element, for example, in the login button, you want to do a right click, or in that particular text box, you want to do a right click, then you have to pass that web element as a parameter. Simply, if you don't pass, it will just go and do the right click operation in the web page. Let me just, for now, I'm just giving this one. And let me comment all this. Yeah. Okay, so we have to give the object dot, what is the name of the method, and then dot, we have to, yeah, context click dot, we have to say perform. Yeah, what's happening? Dot build and then dot perform. Because actually, if in the normal methods, if you want to perform a click, we will use a click method, right? If you want to enter input, we will use send keys. So likewise here, we are using a different methods. Okay, then we are saying like in the actions from the action class, go and use the context click method. Just execute that method. Here we are not saying click or send keys. We are calling the different method. In that method, we have all the actions already mentioned. Like if you want to click or you want to enter a text, whatever it is already mentioned in that particular method. So you are just calling the method. So when you are giving build or perform, it will say like just go and execute that method. Okay, just for the execution. In all the in actions class, if you are using any of the method, you have to use this build or perform. Then only it will execute that particular method. Okay, it is just for the execution purpose. Now let me run this. So it is launching the URL. Yeah, here can you see it just opened this particular window. What is this? When you do a right click, then only you will get this option, right? So here I have given context click on the web page. So that's why I'm getting this screen. It clear? It executed. But if I don't give build.perform, then nothing will happen. Because only this build and perform means it is calling that method. The execution is happening. And then action dot. Likewise, you can use all different methods. For example, double click. I told you if you want to do a double click, you can simply use the double click method. That also having 2 different options. If you want to do it in the web page, just use the method. If you want to use that on any particular web element, then you pass that web element as a parameter. Next, move to element. This one is actually you want to move. For example, I launched the URL. Okay, I am at this page. I want to move my cursor to particular element like to Selenium or at this particular place. I want to move my cursor. I don't want to click or I don't want to perform any other action. I just want to move. Okay, then you can use this move to element. You can pass that element as a parameter. Then it will just move to that element and then you can perform the actions. When we use this move to element is, for example, not this page, let me, maybe let's take a Flipkart, okay. Yeah, here you can see within a page, there are so many web elements present, right? You can see the drag and drop as well. If you just scroll down, sorry, you can see that scroll bar as well. If you can scroll down, at the bottom, there are so many elements available. Okay, but currently only till this only visible. But I want to click one element which is available at the bottom. Okay, then we can use this move to element method, because simply if you do it here, if you just after launching, if you are trying to click one element which is available at the bottom of the page, then what will happen is driver will simply come to this page. It will just look for the element. In some web pages, sometimes what will happen is it will identify, but in some places it will say like, I'm not able to interact with the element. That element is available at the bottom. I'm not able to click. I'm not do any action. Okay. So in those scenario, we can use move to element. This method, it will just move the driver to that particular location, to that element. And then you can perform the action, click or whatever you can perform. Okay, that is the use of this move to element. So likewise, you can use all the methods present in this actions class. So the only thing you have to remember is why we are using actions class. Just to handle keyboard and mouse event, and then the different methods available. First, you have to create object, and then you have to use build and perform to execute that particular method. Okay. So that is actions class. So I hope this is clear. Sorry, I cannot explain all other methods because we are running out of time. So I will move on to the next topic. But I hope this is clear. You can just try with other methods. Okay, so the next one is a JavaScript executor. So this is also one of the interface present in Selenium. So this is having multiple advantage. The one main advantage is to perform scroll up or scroll down. Even if you take this example, we are having a scroll bar. I want to click one element at the bottom. I told you we have one option. Using that move to element, we can do that. But I want to drag this scroll bar. I want to move this to the bottom. Then you can use JavaScript executor. Using that JavaScript executor, we can perform scroll up or scroll down. Okay, that is the main advantage. I will just show you the example here. Okay. So JavaScript executor is an interface, and this is the syntax to create an object. Okay. So JavaScript executor, JS equal to JavaScript executor of driver. This is the syntax. And then using the name, you can access the methods present in this JavaScript executor. So using JavaScript executor, we can perform click. We can perform, we can even enter the input, and then we can perform scroll up or scroll down. The main advantage I will tell you is it is actually it is an interface, okay, and the advantage is it is a JavaScript executor. The name itself, you can see JavaScript. It is actually easily interact with the web elements because the code written in the web page is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? So using that, it will easily interact with the element. So for example, in one web page, you are not able to, the element is present, you identify the element using one of the locator. That is also correct. Still, driver is not able to click that element, not able to interact. The interaction is not working properly. Then you can use a JavaScript executor in that scenario. Okay. So within this JavaScript executor interface, we have two methods: execute script, execute async script. So for now, just ignore this execute async script. We will use execute script only. The difference is you might heard about synchronous, asynchronous, right? So that is the difference between these two methods. We never use this async script. So for now, you can ignore this because we don't have time to explain much. So we will focus on execute script. So you can use this execute script method. So just come here. So this is the first step. to create a reference. Okay. So JavaScript executor JS equal to this one. Next, I want to perform a click. We have in normal way, you can simply use a click method. Driver.find element and then dot you can provide a click. But if that is not working, then only we are going to use this option. Okay. So here, and I told you this is nothing but finding the element, right? So you can parameterize this one. The parameter name is web element. I told you all these objects are called web elements, right? Elements present in the web page. So web element and then provide name for the web element equal to what is this? So driver.find element by.radio button. It is actually similar to what we did in the login page, but we are just parameterizing. Here, directly we have given the method and then dot. We have used the action. But here, we are just parameterizing that web element and then we are using. So js.execute script of arguments of 0 dot click and then you have to provide. This is the syntax. So here what we are saying is in the web page, maybe we can have multiple elements with the same values, right? If that is the case, I have to always click the first matching element. So that is the meaning for this arguments of 0. So always go and click the first match. So that's why I'm giving arguments of 0 dot click. So this is the syntax. You have to give like this one within a double quotes, argument of 0 dot click, comma, where you have to perform this click. The web element, right? You have to pass that web element. So comma radio button. That's it. So it will just go and click that element. Next, text box. Sorry, you want to pass the input. So that is also similar way. Like I just created the web element here and then js.execute script of again just do this for the first match. So arguments of 0 dot what is the action? Earlier we need to perform click. So we called click method, click of this one. But here I want to pass the input, right? So for that we have to use the keyword value. So arguments of 0 dot value equal to what is the value you want to enter? That input you have to provide here. And then comma the name of the web element. That's it. So it will just go and find the element and provide the input. It is similar to what we did using SendKeys method. Okay, these two are not much important because we have another option. You can use that normal click and SendKeys. But we do have this option. Okay. Next, this scroll up or scroll down. This is very important because using JavaScript only we can perform this. We don't have any other option. So in the web page, I want to perform this up or down. Okay. So this is the syntax. Again, the method name will always be same, execute script. So js.execute script of here I am going to scroll the window, right? So within a double quotes, you have to say window dot. If you want to scroll down, then you have to use a keyword scroll by. If you want to scroll up, then you have to use a keyword scroll to. Only the by and to is difference. Down means by, up means to. Okay, so window dot scroll by of. You have to provide the pixel, right? So from here, where you want to scroll down, you cannot simply say just scroll down. I just want to move 500 pixels down or I want to move 1000 pixels down. So you have to specify that pixel. So like we can say that as a X and Y axis. So from 0 to, I want to go to 500 pixels or from 0 to 100. Okay, the X and Y we have to provide. So that's why here I have given scroll by of 0, comma, either you can provide the pixel like this 500,000 or else document.body.scroll height means if you want to scroll to the bottom of the page. Okay, just bottom. Then which means you need to you are finding the height of this particular web page and you are scrolling down till that height. So this one document.body.scroll height, this will find the total pixel, the total length, and then it will just scroll move the scroll bar to this till bottom, the end. Okay, that is the first one. So scroll by of, we have to provide the X and Y, the pixels we have to pass. Either if you want to move in between, just provide the pixel. If you want to move to the bottom, then just use this method. Document.body.scroll. Okay, and next one, scroll up. If you want to do a scroll up, again it is same, only the method will differ. Scroll to. So from in this example, from the bottom, I want to move 500 pixels up. Okay, here my x-axis is 0, right? From 0, I want to move 500 pixels up. So x and y axis will be 0, 500. This is x, this is y. If you want to the top, just move to here. Then what will be the x and y values? I hope you guys will easily identify. My x value is 0. From 0, I want to move to the top. Top will always, that is, it is a starting point, right? So 0, 0. So you can give scroll to of 0, 0. It will move to the top, but if you want to move in between, then you have to provide the pixel. Okay, I hope this is clear. So maybe let me just I will just execute the script and then show you. You can see the changes in the page. So it is launching the URL. Here, see, it is waiting till the page gets load. Still it is loading. Oh, it is taking. Yeah, sorry, actually this is taking time. I don't know. Yeah, see, it just scrolled to the bottom and then again it scrolled to the top. Because first we have given documented body that scroll height, which means scroll to the bottom. And then we have given 0, 500 scroll to. So it just moved up 500 pixels. That's it, guys. So this is the use of JavaScript executor. This is how you have to perform scroll up or scroll down. I hope this is very easy, but the syntax only you have to remember. So the method name is execute script. Within this method, we have to use window.scroll by or scroll to, and then just the pixels, X and Y values. That's it. Yeah, that's it, guys. That is a JavaScript executor. So yeah, I hope this is clear. I know today we are going a bit fast because of the time. So if you have a questions, just make note. At the end, we will have the we will discuss about the queries. We just have 2 more topics to cover. Okay, so next one is window handling. I will show you first. You need to understand the scenario. Let's take this web page. So here, see, if I'm clicking here, I'm having one button, open window. If I'm clicking this button, you can see it is opening a new window. Can you see that? This is a different window. We call this as a child window because this is a parent. From parent, you are clicking one button and you are getting a new window. This is a child window. Likewise here, if I'm clicking at this button, I'm getting a new tab. Here I'm having, this is my active tab, but from this, it is opening a new one. So this is how to handle this one. Because our WebDriver will always be in the current window, here only. If you are clicking this open window, it is opening a new window, right? But for our driver, it doesn't know about this new window. It will always be in the current window. So we have to perform a switch. We have to inform our driver like, we have one more window open. So please switch to that window. Likewise, we have to ask our driver to switch to the new window. So if we don't inform this to our driver, then that doesn't, like, new window or new tabs open. So that is, let's see how to handle this one in Selenium. Okay. So here, let's try to understand the logic. First, we have to identify which is the parent window, right? Then next, we have to identify the child window. Next, after identifying, we have to ask our driver to switch to the new window. Switching needs to happen. That is a third step. Finally, in this page, I want to click this one, or I want to do some actions. At the end, again, I want to come back to my original window. Then that should be the last step, like coming back to the main window. Okay, this is the 4 steps that we used to do, that we are doing here. I will explain you how we can do the same using the script. Yeah. So here we have, again, we are having a method to handle all this. Okay. If you want to get the main window, what is the name of the main window, everything, then we have to use a method called get window handle. So this will go and get the current active window. And then if you want to get all the child windows, then there may be more than one window, right? 2 or 3, it depends on the page. So we have to collect all the child windows and we have to store that in a one variable. But here, if you see the first one, active window will always be one. Only one main window we have. So that's why we use string. So string main window, it is a single value. But when we are going to child window, more than one values, right? So that's why we are using a collection concept here. We are using set. If you are if you are having a knowledge on Java, you might have heard about collections, right? We have list, set. Set is one of the concept in Java. So using set, we can store multiple elements, and the advantage is it will remove the duplication. If there is a duplicate element available, it will just remove. It will store only the unique elements. So that's why here we are using a set. So, and all the windows are string, right? The name, the variable is, the data type is string. So that's why set data type string, and then name, I have given windows equal to, the name of the method is get window handles, just plural. So driver.get window handles. So it will collect all the child windows. Okay. Next, here we need to perform a switch. Is that right? So here, to perform a switch, we have to use iterator. This is also concept available in Java. If you want to perform iteration, definitely we need a loop, right? We have a for, while, do, while. We have to use any of the loop to iterate from one element to another. So here we are using a while loop. So iterator equal to windows.iterator, that is the syntax. And then while, if that idea that has next means, it will go and check if there is any next element available. If yes, then just come down. And here we are saying driver.switch to .window. So switch to that child window. We are doing that switch here. And at the end, if you want to come back to the main window, again we are saying driver.switch to .window of main window. That's it. Maybe I will try to show you that in the code. Yeah. Okay, see. So string parent window, you can give any name. You can give active window, or you can give us a parent equal to driver dot, what is the name of the method? Get window handle, right? Next, I want to get all the child windows. So I told you we have to use a set. So set string windows equal to, again, driver dot get window handles. That's it. So this will just go and collect all the child windows. And then now we have the windows list, but I want to iterate from one window to another. That's where we are going to use a iterator and the loop concept. So iterator, so you can here either you can use a for loop or while loop. You can use any one of the loop. let's maybe the iterator, right? That this is a one way we can use iterator and while, but this might be a bit difficult. So we have one more option. You can even use a for loop. So for string variable, all the values present in this windows, they are string, right? So string, any name you can give. Hold on, I'm going to take all the values from this windows. So just provide. Yeah. And then another one thing is this get window handles, right? It will take the parent window along with the child window. So we are already in the current window, the parent window, right? We don't again, we don't want to switch to the parent. I just want to switch to the child from parent. So you can add the condition if this window, this variable, right? So if that one, we are already having the parent window. We know which is the parent window, right? So we can just compare. If the window dot equals parent, so it's an attribute. So yeah, if it equals to the parent window, yeah. So if that it equals to the parent window, then don't do any iteration because I'm already in the parent window. Okay. If it is a child, else, then only perform a switch. So driver dot switch to dot window, and then we have to provide the window which is where. That's it. Yeah. That's it. So at the end, I have performed the, I just moved to the child window. And within this, if you want to do any action, just write the relevant code here. Once that is done, when you are coming out of the loop, again switch back to the parent window. Because at the end, we have to come back to the parent, right? So switch to dot window of parent window. That's it. If you want, I will just run the script. You will see the difference. Yeah, here see, it actually clicked this open window. You can see that, right? And you can see it opened that new window. Let me go back to Eclipse. Script has completed because what I did, I just wanted to switch to the child window. Here I haven't do any action. So that's why it just switched to this child window. That's it. Nothing has happened. If you want to see if you want to see what's happening, then what you can do is maybe in the child window, do some actions like click any of the buttons or any of the links and just add those script here. So you will see whether it is performing those actions or not. Okay. But this is window handling. So you have to use the same process for different tabs as well. Here it is opening a different window. Even within the same browser, if it is opening a different tab, at the time also we have to perform a switch. So it is a similar, you have to use the same script to switch to either a window or a tabs. Okay. So I hope it is clear. Next, we have one more topic. Okay. Next, in 5 minutes, I will just try to close. Yeah, web tables. This is also very important. Yeah. So, how to handle tables present in a web page? Okay, just let me go through this page once. Here, see, we have multiple, like, you know how to handle a text box, right? You just have to use you have to identify this element, and then you have to use a send keys method. And whatever button, if it is a radio button, or if it is a checkbox, or if it is a normal buttons, this like a login button or open, whatever it is, you just have to use a click method. Just identify the element and then use the click method. That's it. Okay. And drop downs, if you want to select a value from the drop down, then in Selenium, we have a class called select. Using the select class, we can select values from the drop down. You have to use that class, and within that class, we have different methods. So simply like the what is it? Yeah, click or send keys. You cannot select values from drop down. You have to use that select class. Please just go and check how to use that select class. What are all the different methods? Just go and check. Okay. Next, yeah, here you can see a table. If you are having a table, you want to read all the values present in the table. Okay. Then how to get that one? So let me inspect this one. It is also similar to the normal one, but here you just need to understand the tag names. Here, can you see? It is a table, right? When I am clicking this table, it is highlighting this one. So table will always have the tag name as table, okay? And it is having only one attribute ID. So if you want to identify this table, just use the ID as attribute. Next, within a table, we have a body, right? This is a body. Within body, we have rows and columns. So it will have head and body, T head and T body. Head is nothing but this header, name, position, city. If I'm clicking here, you can see it is highlighting this heading. Body is nothing but the whole content. Okay. If I go inside body, you can see TR and then TD. So TR, that tag name refers to table row. TD means that is table column. You have to remember the tag names. So table means table, and if it is a table header, then T head, table body means T body, row means TR, table column means TD. Okay, and using this one, again here you just have to write XPath, that's it. Here first you have to identify how many rows present in the table, then how many columns, and then using a loop, we can get all the values. Okay. So I will show you the simple here. Just write XPath here. First, you need to identify the table, right? Then only you can go to the rows and columns. So first write XPath. So / tag name is table, and this is having ID, which is product. So product. Yeah, here you can see there are these two tables are having the same name, product. Okay, in this stage, what we can do is we can use index. Index is nothing but within this, in the same value, I have two elements. So you can use 1 or 2. 1 means it will refers to the first match. 2 means it will take the second one. So this is also the way of writing XPath. You can use index. And then within a table, I am having rows, right? TR refers to the table row. So if you count how many TR present, that will give the row count. If you count TD, then that will give the column count. And TH means, TH means that's the table head, this name, position, city, amount. Okay. So / here /TR. Can you see? It is actually identifying the rows in this table. Within a table, I'm having 10 rows. You can see 1 of 10, which means if I use this syntax, use this XPath, it will give all the rows present in the table. Like if I want to know within a row, how many columns present, then /TT. But here, see, if I give /TD, it is giving 36 because we have 36 columns. You can see it is highlighting all the columns, right? We have 36 columns. So that's why it is showing 36. But if you want to I want to know how many headings, okay? then tr/th. Can you see? Now it is showing 1 of 4. Because TD means all the cells will have the tag name as TD. But the header that will have tag name as TH. So if you take TH, you will get the count of the column. Now I will show you the script. I'm not going to write the one because of the time. I will just show the existing one. So here see, first I am identifying the table. Okay, this is the table. Using XPath, I am just identifying the table. Next, I am going to identify the rows. So here there are multiple rows available, multiple columns available. It is not a single value. So that's why here in Selenium we have a method find elements. If it is a find element single, if there is a multiple values available, then find elements, which is a plural. So we have to store all the values in one list because we are having more than one values. If it is a single one, you can store that in a web element, but here we are having multiple values, so list of web elements. Just store, and then column also we are identifying using this th, and then that's it. You can write a loop. So for loop for rows, and then another for loop for columns, and then you can provide the row and column numbers just to iterate from one cells to another. It will just go and get the values present in the whole table. The concept is here we are identifying first the table and then the rows and then columns. Using row number and column number, we are getting the cell values. That's it. Yeah, here can you see? Just see the console. It has printed. I have written code to get value from this particular table. Okay, here you can see the values, right? There are 3 columns. All the values are printed here. That's it. This is how you have to handle the web tables. Okay. Yeah, and then the final one. So now you know how to write a script. Okay, you have different classes and interfaces in Selenium, but you are getting some error. So in Selenium, I told you it will throw exception. So using the name of the exception, you can easily identify which could be the reason for this failure. Okay, so no such element exception means we will get this exception when there is no matching element available. The name itself, you can see no such element. You have used the wrong locator or you have used wrong attribute value. So the driver is trying to find the element, but that particular element is not present in the web page. Then you will get no such element exception. So when you are getting this exception, you have to check the locator values, whether you are passing the correct value or not. Definitely that could be the reason for the failure. Whether you must have used wrong values. Okay. Second one, element not visible exception. So element is present in the web page, but that may have the attribute hidden. So that particular element is hidden. The driver is not able to interact with that element. Okay, at the time we will get element not visible exception, which means element is present, but it is not visible. Driver is not able to find that element. Okay. Third one, stale element exception. This exception we will get when the element is present, but the element is not loaded properly. Because when the web page loads completely, then only all the web elements will get loaded, right? If there is any issue, the page not loaded completely, at the time I'm trying to execute the script. Okay, then it is trying to find the element, but the element properties are not loaded. At the time you will get stale element exception. Element is available, but it is not loaded properly. And element not interactable exception. This one we will get when there is more than one element available with the same locator, with the same ID or name. For example, you are trying to find the elements using ID. There are 3 to 4 elements having the same ID. In that stage, you will get element not interactable because driver is trying to find the element, but there are 4 elements available, so it got confused. It was driver is thinking like which one I want to click. So it is saying I'm not able to interact with the element. So that when you are getting this element not interactable, so check whether you have used the unique property. And WebDriver exception, this one we used to get if there is any issue with the Selenium WebDriver. It is not with the code. The Selenium WebDriver may be the server related issues. At the time, you will get WebDriver exception. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, sorry. That's it, guys. If you have any questions, we can discuss now. We have only 5 more minutes. Rishabh, are you there? Over to you for the questions.
Yes, I am here. I hope you all are able to hear me clearly. So, time for the main part. I know you all have questions that you wanted to ask, and we'll be taking the questions quickly. But before that, a quick reminder. So, this was just a preview. If you want to learn more in depth about topics like this, job relevant topics, so you can check out our website, edyoda.com. Link will be available in description. Subscriptions just starts at 99 rupees, and at that cost you'll be able to learn the complete course in detail. So for more info, website link in description. Now moving on to the Q&A, I know you all have been waiting for it. Before that, a quick like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Okay, so question. First we have one question. Ma'am, how did you get into IT industry?
Okay, that's a good question. So actually, I got placed from my college itself on campus placement. Actually,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I studied actually electronics and communication engineering. So at the time itself, I had interest in coding. So I just learned Java and few more programming language, and then I just moved here.
Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Next is, how much time does it take to learn Selenium in detail?
If you are already having the programming knowledge, you just want to learn Selenium, then I can say 2 weeks enough. If you are giving the working hard within, you can easily learn within 2 to 3 weeks if you are really interested. But if you don't have any knowledge on programming language, then that as first you need to learn the language, then you can move to Selenium. That may take 1 month because first you need to understand the programming language. So it may take 1 month, but it depends on the person.
So completely depends how much time you are going to spend and how much previous knowledge you have. Okay. Next question we have is that I have no programming knowledge. Can I learn Selenium?
Yes, definitely you can. So it is not that hard. So it's not like you should have the whole knowledge on programming, just basics enough. So just spend, if you don't have a knowledge, just spend 1 or 2 weeks to learn basics and then move to Selenium. You can easily learn. It's not a problem.
Okay. The next we have, can I learn Selenium and get a job?
Yeah, definitely. But not only the Selenium, few other things which I mentioned during the session, right? If you learn, then you can easily get a job.
And how to become a software test engineer? One person is asking.
Yeah. So how to become a software test engineer? You should have some knowledge on programming and these things. Then it is enough. For software tester, no much knowledge. Like you should have the logical thinking because we are going to do a testing, right? So you have to think like what are all the different scenarios, the negative and positive flows. Because if you miss any one of the simple flow, that may affect the customer or the end user. So you have to think in that perspective. That is enough. But if you want to become automation test engineer, then you should have the programming knowledge and all other stuffs.
Okay. So next question related to that only. If I study Selenium, what kind of jobs can I apply for?
Yeah, you can apply for automation test engineer. Yeah.
Okay. And like one person was asking, to become the software test engineer, what more should I study other than Selenium?
Okay, you need to understand what is testing and what are all there are so many types of testing available and the testing life cycle. So apart from the Selenium, this is just a coding automation part, but in the testing we have so many other stuffs as well. Just try to learn that also, like how to do a testing, what are the different types. So those things you need to learn.
Okay, great. So I think we have tried to answer all the important questions that we had. We are almost at the end of the session. So before I finish, again, thank you so much, Natya, for coming here and sharing your knowledge here with all of us.
Yeah, thank you, Rishabh. So I hope this will be helpful for all other people. So yeah, all the very best.
All right. And any questions you have, even more that you want to ask, you can again comment down in the comment section and we'll try to answer them. And again, if you found the session useful and informative, don't forget to click on the like button so that we can keep bringing more workshops like this, and subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. That'll be it from our side. And thank you all for watching. Take care.